Hello everyone, my name is Silver Willowing and welcome. Today we just got some brand new images from How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World. These are the first images released that is from the actual movie, so these are pretty much screenshots from the actual film, and we have 5 in total, and we're gonna go over them real quick in this video and talk a little bit about what they give away from the plot. I want to give a quick shout out to Discord user Chris Victorious for making me aware of these images. But let's just jump right into them and take a look. The first one is Hiccup and Toothless, and this image is just really lovely. However, there is something concerning about it, since Toothless is not wearing his saddle. He's not wearing his gear, he's not wearing his saddle, and I just instantly think, is this picture a goodbye to Toothless? I mean, Hiccup looks happy, but he also has a little bit of sadness in his eyes, in my opinion at least, but I could just be, translating too much out of it. But Toothless also looks a little bit like, what's going on? His face is a little bit surprised, his expression is a little bit, why is this happening? It could also just be the way it stopped, it's still, and it could just be that Hiccup is working on his new armor or something, and Toothless just came along and he's like, oh hey buddy, I didn't see you there, or something similar to that. Toothless looks pretty much the same. It's hard to tell if he has gotten more of those ear flaps on his cheek, since he is older. He's not that much older, but still maybe one more could have grown out or something, but can't really tell yet. The background looks amazing. We have this really nice green forest and the grass, and just the graphics looks astounding. I really think that it's going to be a truly beautiful movie, regardless of what the plot is going to be. The next one we have is Hiccup and Astrid together, flying on Stormfly. We can clearly see this is Stormfly. We can see a spike sticking up here, and they are surrounded by dozens and dozens of fireworms. And from the background we can tell that they are in the hidden world, which doesn't have a name yet. I'm not sure if it's just called the hidden world, but we're gonna call it that for now. So we have Hiccup and Astrid here looking pretty stunned at all these fireworms flying around them. We get a good look on their armor, which looks really nice, and this lighting as well. And the characters looks really great. I think they look really beautiful, both of them. They're very recognizable, don't look that much older. So this movie is not as big of a jump as the first was to the second. I'm pretty sure we can confirm that. But it's kind of interesting that they are riding together on Stormfly rather than Toothless carrying Hiccup. So that again raises some questions like, where is Toothless in this scene? And it once again makes you wonder, is he gone now? Is he with the other Night Fury? Is he in some more trouble? What is going on really? We can only speculate about this though. It could also just be like a random flight, but I definitely think it has some meaning that Hiccup is riding with Astrid. But it's a really beautiful picture, and I love the setting of this, the hidden world. It looks absolutely gorgeous in the background. Then we have a picture of the actual white Night Fury, or the Albino Fury, even though there's some debate if this is truly an albino or not. I'm still pretty confident I'm gonna call it an albino, because albinos are known to have blue eyes in some cases, and even if they don't, this is a fictional movie, so they maybe just settled on blue eyes because it look better. Once again, I'll have to point out the low amount of details on her. She has really tiny scales. Compared to Toothless, her details are so subtle. You can barely see her scales. They're just sparkles pretty much. But we can see, however, a pattern on her wings. Like Toothless also have a really dark pattern, which almost look like some spots and stuff going in and out of each other. And we can see this here. She looks more greenish in some parts and more sparkly in other parts on her wing and on her back. We have a frontal view on her face, and we can see that she does not have those 2 flaps on the top of her head. She only has the 2 big ear ones, and then she has the secondary ones. So she only has a total of 4 ear flaps, which makes her extremely young compared to Toothless. And there's also something else that's interesting, because it does indeed look like If we take a look at her back, that she does not have spikes, but rather this skin sticking up, similar to that of a Spinosaurus almost. Like it's not spikes at all, it's just the skin like a fin almost, like we would see on fish. It looks very apparent in this picture, to me at least. It could be the angle, there could be something else going on, but it does seem to me that she does not have spikes at all, which is really interesting. And it kind of makes me wonder, is she a Night Fury at all? Because she is very different from what we have seen Toothless be. But I am sure we're going to get more explanation in the trailer and when the actual movie gets out as well. Then we have the reveal of the villain for this movie, and also what appears to be a brand new dragon species, which I was in doubt we were gonna get for this movie. I had read somewhere that there was not gonna be any more new dragons, but that's obviously not true, because we have a big dragon here that is never seen before, and it looks absolutely stunning. Just look at those tusks, it's really impressive. And looks rather large. I can't wait to see this dragon in action. It looks really, really terrifying and very impressive. And then we have the villain here, which is called Grimble, if I am pronouncing that correctly. And he is supposedly a dragon hunter, and a very vicious one at that. And he hunts Night Furies pretty much into extinction. At least that's the details we have so far. And he's most likely going to be hunting Toothless down in this new upcoming movie. So he's gonna be a really nasty fellow to deal with. I overall like the design of him because he's so different compared to the other villains we have seen. Drago was this very big, buff man who was very intimidating, where this guy is obviously older, but he seems very similar to Hiccup in his stature at least. And that could make him more intimidating because he's so similar to Hiccup, and he might use his intelligence rather than just his muscles to actually win the situation to his favor. So that's something really, really interesting, and I definitely look forward to seeing this guy in action. So he's supposedly a hunter, like I said, but still it seems like this dragon is his ally, the one we see behind him. I don't think this is a stuffed dragon. I could be wrong though, and this is just a trophy he has. But I'm pretty sure that dragon is alive and is possibly his ally. Which is pretty cool that he doesn't even care that he's riding a dragon. He's hunting dragons, he's riding a dragon. He doesn't even care that he's using a dragon to commit such atrocities. So really interesting character here, at least from what I know so far. And from this image, I'm very excited to see how this is gonna play out in the movie. And finally we have this image of Toothless seeing the White Night Fury. Once again, if we look at her back, we can see what appears to be a frail slash spine, skin, fin, what do you want to call it, on her neck, on the nape of her neck. So I think she's gonna be something very different from Toothless. And it does make me wonder what on earth is going on, because she doesn't even look much like a Night Fury if she has all these changes. And it seems strange that such an adaptation as her would coexist with Toothless, because evolution is of course a thing and different species could evolve in different directions. So she might not be a Night Fury at all, but rather a subspecies, because she looks very different. Her overall facial shape is also completely different from Toothless. I mean, these looks like two different dragons to me if you take a look at them. They're very, very different, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just very interesting and not something you would expect. I can't wait to see a full body of this Night Fury, because she is very different. There's definitely gonna be some special about her compared to Toothless. They're very different. And here we can see that Toothless has 3 of the small flaps sticking out. I think there's 3 visible there, possibly 4 small ones. But yeah, again, stating that he is much older than this White Night Fury. We can also clearly see here that her head is much smaller than Toothless's head. So there's definitely going to be an age difference between these two, and I wonder how that's going to play out in the movie. It almost looks like they're standing on some kind of sand here, if we look at the background. sand or dust or ash, something like that. It doesn't look like they're underground really. It looks like they're out on a beach at nighttime, possibly. It's hard to tell because we don't know the environment in the hidden world at all, but it really does look rather different from what we've seen on the poster and the other pictures. She's also kind of narrowing her eyes, almost like she's not really accustomed to being outside, if this picture is indeed outside of the hidden world, so the light is kind of bright for her. It could also just be the way the picture is taken, or she's skeptical towards Toothless. That could also be it. Toothless also looks a little bit confused, like, what is this? Who is she? I do not understand. It must be a really big thing for Toothless to meet one that is so similar to him, because he's been the only species for so long. If she indeed is a Night Fury, but we'll see that once the trailer hits. This was all the pictures. The trailer is going to be out sometime this week. I'm really excited about that, and I hope that you guys are as well. I think it's going to be really amazing to see some of these characters in action. And I think that's all I'm gonna leave you with for now. Be sure to subscribe if you want more How to Train Your Dragon news. I'm gonna be covering everything I find, and we're gonna look forward to when the movie finally gets out. I'm really excited. But let me know what you think about all these pictures down in the comment section. Anything you have to say, I would love to read it, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. So long, Dragon Riders!